Hamas doesn't have our best interests at heart, no kidding. Look, freedom-loving Australians, as you say, don't make very good bedfellows with Islamic fundamentalism. Now, you touched on something very important, and this would be my final question there, and that is during COVID, we saw a complete distrust of the media and politicians, and that is because they lied to people, and so people lost faith in the organisations that they used to use to balance themselves in society and orient their version of what they perceive as true and not true. Now, because of that, a whole stack of independent journalists came up online. Now, that is a natural response to being lied to, that people will seek information elsewhere. And you are one of the great repercussions of that movement. But I have to say, some people look at ARC and they're frightened that if conservatism and the media gets together and becomes trustworthy again, they might lose their "we're the only beacon of truth" money-making activity. And so they are sowing this idea that everything is a conspiracy, trust no one, and I don't think that's healthy. Do people like yourself and our organisation, do we have a responsibility to try and restore faith in journalism again and try and help people find truth and find facts in this news cycle?
Definitely, I agree. So when I, complain about the mainstream media, it's not because I don't want them to exist. I want them to exist, but we want them to be better. And that has to be the difference. So it's not about saying that the media, mainstream media, can no longer exist and it's got to be replaced by these truth tellers in the independent media and all this kind of stuff. I don't believe in that. I think it's healthy to have good mainstream media, to have good independent media, and then to have that contest of ideas. And that's what we should be aiming for. Now, the fact that, in this particular conflict, for instance, I don't think it's the same type of censorship that we saw during COVID times. But people believe that it is that type of censorship. Information is actually out there. And what people are failing to understand is that a lot of it's propaganda from, wherever you watch it from. And that's a fair way to look at this. But they're looking at that as, if this particular outlet is not telling me and confirming my own views and my own biases, they're somehow misleading me and lying to me. And sometimes it's not necessarily about that. So we have to be able to be discerning between the type of media we consume. We need to have mainstream media, because a lot of the times in these conflicts, the only type of companies that can maybe go out to the war zones are mainstream media. Like, for instance, you said about the complaints against Avi Yemini from Rebel News. Well, Avi Yemini from Rebel News went to Israel and he covered it from that perspective, from that border. And that's not always available unless you actually go there firsthand and do it. So you have to consume that. Then you have to consume the media that's coming out of Gaza. There's independent media there, but then also you have to look at that in the light of the fact that Gaza is controlled at that time by Hamas. So is it propaganda? How much of it is propaganda? So all of this, I thought after everything that people have been through during COVID, people will be a lot smarter in terms of discerning when it comes to these type of things. But I think we're at this stage, like you've identified, where people are very distrusting of media altogether, that they believe everything is a conspiracy. And a lot of the times, not everything is a conspiracy. It's more so around understanding how to consume media and understanding, how to tell